Are you tired of missing those great shots when you attempt to capture them handheld? Well, when you use a tripod gimbal head, you will soon find out that you can get those shots that you've been missing. Today, I'll be looking at the K&F Gimbal Head Tripod Head. Now, it's a budget-friendly tripod gimbal head that can help you capture those shots that you've been missing. Stick around. Hey, Steve here, and welcome to my channel. Now, I want you to know I'm an independent photography channel here, and I do not rely on any sponsorships for any of my reviews. So all the equipment you see here, that is, I purchased with my own money. So really, there's no concern on how sincere or honest the reviews are going to be. Now, in this video, I will be reviewing the K&F Gimbal Head. Now, this is a budget-friendly head, and will it be able to do what it says it's going to do? Well, I'll be reviewing the equipment, showing you how to balance it, and I'll also give you the pros and cons of this gimbal head. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start with the specifications here, but I'm going to read these off to you because I can't memorize everything here. So we're going to start with the material here. The gimbal head itself is made of a durable CNC not cast aluminum, but solid aluminum, which means it's cut out of one section of aluminum. So it's very high quality as far as that goes. It does have load capacity. Load capacity is 44 pounds, which will handle most rig setups here. And also, its weight comes in at 2.81 pounds. So it's the equipment itself, the head itself, is really not that expensive or that heavy, that is, at all. Its dimensions. The height is 9.6 inches. It's got a width of 7.8 inches, and its base diameter down here is 50 millimeters. Now, okay, the rotation on this head, the gimbal head, is a full 360-degree rotation for panoramic, and the 360 vertical arm right here, it does, like I said, 360 degrees as well. Now, the quick release plate is an Arca-Swiss compatible quick release plate that does have 2 retention pins in it, meaning that there's no chance. I'll loosen this up and show you. You can see how it stops. There are 2 pins on the bottom of this Arca plate here, and 2 grooves in the base itself that keep this plate from sliding off. So if your plate becomes loose and you don't realize it, you don't have to worry about the head itself sliding off, providing of course, the plate has not been completely detached. So it does have that security element there as well. Now, the base itself is a 3/8 inch base, and it does have an adapter for 1/4 inch as well. And this basically is used for mounting onto your lens adapter itself. Now, I did promise that I was going to go ahead and show you how to balance this equipment here. And it's really not that hard to balance. But before I do that, I do want to make one thing clear, that not all tripod head gimbal heads are completely 100% balanceable, so to speak. Even the high-end gimbal heads have sometimes a tendency to drift a little bit, depending on the equipment or the rigs that you're putting on top of it. Most of the higher ends, you have more of a chance of getting it balanced correctly. The lower end budget-friendly heads, they may drift a little bit, as in this case. This will drift a little bit. But let me go ahead and show you how to set this thing up and balance it. So basically, the first thing to do is to, and I'll get the camera in this, the horizontal plate down here. Make sure you got the horizontal plate set all the way to the bottom, like that. And once it's set to the bottom here, you can go ahead and basically just check to see what the rotation is on this thing, whether it's rotating a little bit to the left or right. And to do that, you just have to loosen the knob on the side here. And this one doesn't seem to be too bad. It does drift, as you can see. It'll drift, lens down, the body's a little heavier, so it'll drift up, or lens will drift up. Now, to adjust this, the base plate here can be moved back and forth onto this here. This plate right here can adjust rear to front to kind of levelize the balance out here. Doesn't work all the time with all lenses, depending on your, again, the rig setup itself. Now, the secondary portion to getting this rig balanced is to go ahead and balance it on the vertical arm here. To do that, you have to take this arm right here. We've got to raise it back up. Part of the recommendation, or is well, good place to start, starting point that is to, let me swing that back around here, is to basically, if you can, center the lens itself to the top of your tripod head here. So you just slide it up, slide it up. And like I said, this is not the perfect spot, but it's a good starting point. It's a good starting point here. And one thing I did notice, though, this tripod head does have a tendency to wobble some when it's on the tripod itself, unless it's really tight or screwed down and screwed on completely. Now there's no wobble, but it does have a tendency to want to loosen up some. So you have to find a way or make sure it's secure on your tripod head itself. Your tripod head is not. Make sure the head is on the tripod. That's what I meant to say. It will wobble otherwise. Now, again, to balance this, once you raise this up, you can loosen this up and you can see how it'll either drift. In this case, it's pointing down right now with no problem. Pointed up. Now, see, right now, this seems to be balanced. And I was fairly quickly. Usually you kind of have to tweak it. It takes a few minutes to get what you need tweaked on this thing to get it to work. But right now, as you can see, it does not. Now, it is drifting a little bit. It is drifting a little bit. Wasn't drifting at first, but now it's stuck. All right. Again, you have to kind of have fool with these a little bit, and you got to tweak them to your particular camera setup, And also, one balancing does not fit all. So if you change the body of your camera, or change the lens, or put in a 2-power converter on it, or a couple of filters or whatever, it will, you'll have to readjust the balance. It will throw off the balance itself. But all in all, I'm going to say that this tripod head, this one, seems to be pretty good for price range for being a budget head. Though this is a great entry-level gimbal head, tripod head, I do want to go over the pros and cons, the ones that I have discovered with this particular piece of equipment here. And there's no piece of equipment out there, I don't care what money you spend, it's going to be perfect. You're going to find flaws in it. And this has its flaws and it's got its good stuff. So let's go ahead and go into the pros and cons here. And again, I'm going to have to read this out here. And what I'm going to do is for each pro I'll give you a con right afterwards. So kind of balance the thing out. It'll be a yin-yang thing here. First off, as far as value goes, this is an exceptional value at considering that some of the higher-end gimbal heads, like the Manfrotto, start at $300 plus and above. So for this price cost, the price, you can't beat it. It's an exceptional value. Now, on the downside here, the movements at it are slightly stiff. When you try to move this thing, they are slightly stiff and they don't feel as fluid. It's the fluidity, if that is a word, it's not quite there like it is in the higher end units. But all in all, that's just one of the small downsides. It doesn't mean it can't be balanced at all. Now, on the other side, with its load capacity of 20 grams or 44 pounds, it will support a significant rig with camera with no problem at all. So load capacity shouldn't be an issue there at all. Now, the other downside to that is the arca plate is short arca plate, so it doesn't give you the range you may want to push back and forth. Now, I would not really advise replacing it with a larger plate or, too large a plate, because sometimes you can disable the head itself. And so the plate itself not being able to move back and forth as far as it should, that is one of the downsides. Other than that, for most lens, like this 70 to 200 right here, you shouldn't have an issue with it. Now, going on to the next positive point, which is the build itself, the CNC aluminum. This is a very durable unit here. It's very well made. Does not feel cheap. The knobs are all metal. Nothing on this gimbal tripod head feels cheap at all. Downside again, on the unnecessary, it does have an unnecessary horizontal swing, in the arm. And this adds to the complexity and a little bit of confusion when you're trying to set the whole thing up and balance. Positive note, though, the does have a very smooth 360-degree pan and tilt to it. So that is definitely a plus in this for this unit. It does have, however, on the downside, a minor deviation when it comes to lock and zooming. It's less ideal, but especially on lighter setups, lighter cameras and lenses. Now, lastly, as far as positive goes, it's got quick adjustments with the large knobs. They're easy to handle and grab onto and make the final tweaks and adjustment here. So that part is definitely positive for this unit itself. However, it may feel to be slightly dampened, which means it's getting the astrophotography setups may be a little bit more difficult to set up and get positioned correctly. You may have to work with it some. It's possible. You just have to work with it some. Well, that's my ups and downs, my positives and my negatives for this particular gimbal tripod head. Now, all in all, I would say it's not a bad entry-level tripod head at all. And it's well worth the price. And if you just want to, test it out, it's well worth the money. Well, to summarize, the budget-friendly K&F gimbal head seems to be able to hold its own in the market. It may not be quite as fluid as a high-end equipment, but for the cost, I feel it hits the mark. I do recommend this as a starter gimbal head for the photographers who wanted to test the waters, as I said, for wildlife and astrophotography. So, all in all, I have to give this tripod head a thumbs up. Now, I hope this information has been useful to you if you're researching gimbal heads to add to your equipment. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to click that bell to be notified of any newly uploaded content. Again, my name is Steve. Until next time, go out there and document your world through photography.